Hi folks, welcome to round 4 of the World Cup, and this is the final Swiss round. So as promised, we'll be focusing on the teams that are still fighting for a place in the cut this week. If we can, of course, we'll see what is convenient to record. So we have two groups, and in the first one, as you can see, we have Catalonia basically through, not basically but also theoretically already through, and then we have the Czech Republic is on 24 points, and we have Norway and India on 20 and Italy and France on 14. So if you win your match you get 10 points, if you draw you get 4 points, which means all of these teams can theoretically still make it. And we have France playing against India, Italy playing against Norway, and the Czech Republic is playing against Catalonia. So Czech Republic would, I guess, be unlucky to lose out at this point. And this is the match that we'll be seeing today. So just to show you the other group as well, China is through here with 30 points already, and then we have Greece and the USA on 20 points. They play each other. Also Austria is on 20, they play against China, and behind, still with a chance, is Germany on 18 points, plays against Spain, who is already out, and Poland on 14 points, playing against Berlin, who is also already out. So we'll know in a couple of days who makes it through, and we'll also have those last few games remaining in each pairing will be especially interesting once we know how each is going. I think Germany is leading 4-0 at this point in their match. How is the Catalonia versus Czech Republic going? Let's see. So this is the first one, and it's 2 wins for the Czech Republic, 1 for Catalonia. And Catalonia should be through, and the Czech Republic should also be through, but if they get a draw here at least, that will be then almost, or I'm sure that would be guaranteed then, right? Because they would have 28 points. So they need another couple of wins from this pairing, and that will be it. And so let's see if the game has started. It's supposed to be starting right now. Yes, okay. So we are in setup. Can we take just a quick look? 1 minute. So Aloof and Apart for Catalonia plays the big characters with Marjorie and some lords and kings and stuff like that in there. Renly Baratheon, the core Randall Tarly, so not using the army team and the rich team. And there are some knights here. The basic locations, nothing too special here. And the intimidate event that gives plus strength, some good stuff, cards here. So this is all pretty straightforward. And let's just have a look at the plots that could be impactful. So political disaster, and for the resets we have Morgulis, we also have First Snow, and then Wardens and Miranda Builder, pretty typical. We have Close Call and Late Summer Feast for Econ, and it's up against Greyjoy Crossing, which also plays Morgulis, also plays Dohaeris, which is interesting. So Greyjoy doesn't normally do that, but against this Aloof and Apart deck might be interesting. So both decks on First Snow. Then we have Econ here as well, Clash of Kings, and 2 copies of Brand the Builder. Lots more locations here, so that political disaster could matter. Mainly it's the warships, and then the saves and superior claim we do not. So this is typical. And the characters, so anything high cost here, we have Core Balon, which makes sense in Crossing, of course, with the little T on just 1 copy, interesting. The Stand Victarion that uses the warships, redesigned Euron in here as well, no Asha, and using Alanis as the restricted card for the draw. So that's all we have time for in terms of looking at the decks in advance. Let's instead look at the game now. So we have Greyjoy as first player in round 1, both players opening with Late Summer Feast, and we have the reader setup and marshalling Euron as well. And what is Euron going to do? Takes Silence to hand, but now there is no gold to marshal it. And on the other side we have Marjorie, so no March to the Wall. She's safe to set up, and she will be happy to see some other lords, I'm sure, being marshaled here. So the card Greyjoy has in shadows, I think that can only really be Grey Ghost or Night Flyer. So if it's Night Flyer, it will be waiting for some kind of Red Wine Strains or something, I was going to say, but maybe it would have already taken Great Hall, right, with 2 gold left, so maybe it's Grey Ghost. So we have Randall Tarly and we have Maester Gorman, which is interesting. There are almost no non-Tyrell cards and no outwit, so it's slightly unusual to include him. I wonder what the reasoning is here. And oh, okay, so Grey Ghost coming out of shadows, which means he will just block 2 characters here. Yeah, the 2 big ones, and brings a couple of eager deckhands. Okay, it's they have 1 icon, so in a crossing deck, it's not like you're getting some great value here. So they will be the first player who plays Morghulis will take them out, and they can only really participate in that military challenge. But yeah, just in case there was ever any doubt that there is enough claim soak and stuff like that for Greyjoy, that's now gone. Also good to marshal stuff and get stuff into play from hand with Late Summer Feast on both sides, because I'm sure Tyrell will want to win some challenges back, and then some cards will be drawn here. On the other side, Tyrell is over reserve, but there's 3 gold left, and the Tyrell deck surely has some ambush, right? The high tower spies and stuff like that. And that's Gorman gone. He's a pretty big character. You have to pay 4 for him. So not exactly the claim soak you are looking for. And he was 4 cost, so actually playing first snow with these 2 and Gorman would have been alright, because maybe not, because silence was taken by Euron, so it would have put something into play, right? And then the deckhands just come back on first snow, so yeah, you can't really get a massive advantage. Losing Old Town, not nice. 3 gold left, so Old Town wasn't marshaled, which makes me think something will be coming out of hand. And we have Nightmares on Euron now to stop the Intimidate. And the challenge is pushed through for Greyjoy, which means 1 more power for crossing, 1 more for unopposed. Gets Greyjoy up to 4 power, which is not that much actually, considering that Tyrell will for sure be doing a power challenge back. And that's not bad. Not a bad hit. Now military, so that's going to stand Randall Tarly. Allow him to do 2 challenges, so this is all gaining some power. Only 1 challenge will be properly opposed, so yeah. Going quickly on both sides. And what's the superior claim situation? None on this side. So it's more about the renown in play actually than it is about events or locations gaining power. It does play Old Towns and Golden Grove though, so but one of the Old Towns already lost. That can gain multiple power per round. So Old Town is now restricted. You're using the restricted slot to achieve that. And yeah, now both players so reserve with all the late summer feast drawing, and Tyrell gets well ahead now, and with dominance already up to 7 power. And what's this doing? Getting rid of Grey Ghost. slightly random because you could see something of equal value coming in, right? Just take C pitch or something like that. Or can it take a limited? Yeah, it can, so. Seems like Tyrell wasn't really going to focus on defending that much, so I would have considered keeping the Grey Ghost in play. But fair enough. Card discarded for reserve anyway here. And now there is a slight problem for Tyrell, because there's no bodyguard for Marjorie and power is on characters, so I wonder if Greyjoy will pull the trigger. So if there is any reason, it's a tempo hit for the player that plays it, and Greyjoy is behind, will be on pretty low gold. So it's a risk. But if Greyjoy doesn't pull the trigger and Thomas doesn't, then Tyrell can get close to winning, it seems. And this is, well, it's going to stand Randall Tarly. The winning challenges was not a problem, but it does win initiative against Bran the Builder. And here comes the dupe. So playing Morghulis here, there would have been a dead Randall Tarly in hand. Some power would have been lost. Nothing for Marjorie to do. There is close call, but it takes time to play it. But of course, remember that Greyjoy also plays the Harris in this deck. And Marjorie does not really help with that, so any power that is on characters will be pretty much lost, except for one guy, which I'm guessing is going to be Randall Tarly that is kept. So Greyjoy, if Thomas intends to play to Harris at any point, will of course have to keep that in mind, and not just Marshal Baron here or something like that, but you also need to keep an eye on the power levels, because it's 7 and Randall standing to do multiple challenges. Things can go quickly. Thinking presumably with an eye on Greyjoy's plots here, assuming that the game doesn't end this round, which is quite likely. Nothing bestowed. Yeah, so Varys Marjorie can bring him in, right? So that's why you keep a copy of him in the deck, just in case the situation arises where you want to put him in and trigger him. But I don't think we are at that stage, so he is going to serve as an intrigue icon with stealth now, and if Greyjoy does military and Greyjoy wants to do all 3 challenges because of crossing, then Varys could be swapped, right, with Marjorie. Now what's the situation here? Unique king or lord character, put it into place. So could find the dupe, but he is already duped, and you can't find ladies to dupe herself. So yeah, but you could trade him for Renly, for instance, although the timing won't really work out here, because if you trade for Renly after Greyjoy starts doing challenges, then you run into the Harris, right? So maybe even trading him for something smaller is the thing to do, like Guard the Gross or something like that. Silence for Euron Stand, and nothing in the way of characters, which makes complete sense with the Harris now looking like the play for Greyjoy next round. And now the question is whether Lord Renly's ride is in hand, because that has Intimidate, and intimidating some characters here, especially the icons. You can intimidate Euron, then he stands once with silence. You can go after the military icon or the intrigue icon here and make it quite tricky for crossing to counter. And 1 gold left, so I'm assuming that's for an event, otherwise maybe he would have gotten a gold on him just to be able to increase claim at some point, maybe on the power challenge even, rather than military. Reason, okay. Could make a difference. Yeah, just making sure to win this, so plot triggers on everyone. That's interesting. So it has absolutely no limit, but it's a triggered ability. It doesn't just say each Tyrell character gets +2 strength while participating in a challenge. You have to trigger it for each character, and I guess that's mainly to work with Randyll Tarly. I don't think anyone, well, Highgarden and Courtier, I guess, also cares about characters' strength specifically being increased like that, but it would have been increased anyway with yeah, it would be increased anyway, even if it was a passive ability for Courtier and for Randyll Tarly. So it's an interesting triggered ability for some reason here. So Randyll Tarly stands, and here comes the power challenge, and we have the Lord Renly's ride as expected, which lasts until the end of the phase. So he has permanent intimidate, and he's just going after them. And the only plus side here for Greyjoy is that it's not quite enough to get Lannister to victory here, right? So Lannister is capped at 11, and whatever happens in dominance. And then you can do Harris, and it's still very playable. There's only 3 cards here, and 2 characters will remain in play. And Greyjoy not doing all that badly. Question is now, does Euron stand once here to do the intrigue challenge? So you don't want to attack into Randyll Tarly particularly, but you could do an intrigue challenge, beat Varys, and discard the card. That's a better the Harris, but maybe no warship in hand. Okay. Okay. So that's interesting. I did not expect this. I expected Tyrell to just take the hit on the Harris and go from there, but just pulling the trigger here, which gets rid of Euron and the Reader, but also Marjorie and all the board, and now Greyjoy has options here. It's not forced to play anything in particular, and has the card advantage, it seems. And now pulls the trigger on Morghulis because the dupe is gone. So that means 1 very prominent character in the death pile against PD though. So PD is going to hit the econ, which means there won't be much of a board. 4 power going away, and power given away for priced, which pretty much levels the score here, right? So now Tyrell needs to push the advantage, because he has claim here and more gold available. And if Greyjoy somehow has a good round here, then this was possibly the turning point. And this is as good as anything, I think. Cannot really be blocked. And Greyjoy has nothing. So what do you do? Assuming that he can't stand, I don't think he can. If there's only one challenge, yeah. Quite sensibly going for intrigue. And hitting we do not so, okay, didn't really want to do that, so the thing to hit is the high cost character that was possibly in hand and couldn't be played because of the gold. But I wonder if there is such a character. Victarion is the 7 coster right here and nothing else. And now let's see what Greyjoy can do. So Late Summer Feast is spent. The next highest gold plot is Bran the Builder, which is decent enough. And Lannister making sure that the claim soak can be used this round. Slightly confusing the username Lannister, and then I keep referring to the factions here. So Chris playing Tyrell here for Catalonia and Thomas playing Greyjoy for the Czech Republic. We have Mace and we have duped Victarion to survive military claim in case Renly can beat him. Can defend the intrigue challenge though. So that's more free power. One warship can stand once if he gets intimidated. Let's check on the ambush that can happen for 2 gold. Okay, quite simple, nothing. So the only thing that can really do anything for 2 gold is Lord Renly's Ride and Nightmares. We have plenty of time to finish the game. We've only spent 20 minutes and both players decent on power. So what to do? If you want to push 2 challenges through, he goes for intrigue. Obviously Renly can go for one of the other 2, but he has +1 here, so he has 7 against 7, and Victarion can get up to 8 with the Ironfleet Scout, which wins on defense. However, that means then that Victarion is not standing, right? So not exactly what you were looking for in the crossing deck. And we see if that's indeed what Thomas goes for here. If he leaves it unopposed, that's a lot of power given away to an opponent who is already fairly close to winning, just to then strike back with 2 challenges by Victarion. But on the other hand, doing military against this board is not too bad, right? Because it kills one of only 2 characters. So Victarion takes a gamble. Oh no, does not take a gamble, uses the the Iron Fleet Scout to stand, not to give plus strength, which is quite sensible because there's some chance that there was a Lord Randy's ride, and that just ruins the whole round. So Victarion opposes this and stands. So he's going to do one challenge back, presumably the power challenge. Could do military. Here we go. Yeah, that's a problem now. To intimidate Victarion and standing him in that way. Could have kept him knelt, right? To use his ability later. And then couldn't be intimidated. That means now that Lannister, Chris is on 11, Thomas is on 5, and now we are in the real danger zone. More prize given away, and this time Thomas goes first, which is quite useful. So Mace will be going, and then close call will be getting what back? Brandel Tarly. There will be 6 gold plus the agenda plus Great Hall, so plenty to get the board back. Although with 2 plots remaining, we have still Morghulis to be played on this side. So I think, yeah, Chris can probably hope to win in round 5, which is now, or in round 6, and not be forced to play Morghulis against himself. Now we need something good on this side. An intrigue icon for a start would be nice. Not terrible, but he can be opposed. Now there was a point when Chris was on just 2 or 3 cards in hand. Now they've really grown here, and yeah, has answers. Oh look, he keeps killing the 4-cost characters. No real claim soak, whereas a garden caretaker or something to just be killed for military claim. So King or Lord, yeah, this time, unless there's a Drowned God Fanatic one who's discarded last round, he won't even care. He can swap Garland now for Randall Tarly, who is alive again, and there should be 1 more copy. And this is exactly the problem. So we have a crossing deck, you have 2 icons, and one of the challenges is the military that is dangerous, let's say. It's tricky. And crossing is the fastest agenda, really. It's the one that has inbuilt power gain, basically, and it's very popular and very strong. But quite common for players to run into this situation where they can't keep 3 icons on the board, and then they get the disadvantage and no real advantage. And this particular deck is not playing Relentless Assault either, so no way to get an additional power challenge. So what's the play here? If Victarion gains Renown, you could have 2 characters In the challenge, power claim would be 7, 2 renown would be 9, superior claim would be 11, maybe unopposed would be 12. It's not near enough to winning here. Yeah, can't push it through, and it would just be giving Chris a clear win here. So Thomas is going to defend and try to get it into another round. But how? How does he do that? Because this is going to be unopposed again, right? And she has renown, so that's 13. Yeah, okay, and then try to defend the other two. One with each. Okay, putting them all in the same challenge to get power claim and 3 renown. That would win the game. But is that enough? I think it could be. So we have 12 and plus 2. Is there strength increase? No, I'm not seeing it. And there's no nightmares, nothing to stop this. So yeah, looks like that's the killing blow here for Chris. And should be a good game, yes. Okay. So Catalonia wins their second game. Let's just confirm this. Yeah, so it's 2 wins each and 4 games to be played. The Czech Republic, as I said, so if they get a draw, they are through. If they lose, they would need to wait, I think, for the other results. It would not be completely guaranteed, but the tiebreakers also are important, and yeah, we don't really have time in this video to have a look at everything that's happened in previous rounds. So let's wrap it up here because I think there's another game coming up. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this pairing in our other videos. So thanks for joining me on this one, and hopefully see you next time as well.